Hi, and welcome to MNP, Michael's Naturopathic Programs. Today I want to talk to you about calcium. And here are some of the roles that calcium plays in your body. Whenever I think of calcium, my first orientation is always towards bones and muscles, because calcium, like magnesium, I believe are light switches. You know, the way the human body works is that your mind is an electromagnetic generator. And like in blood pressure, if you listen to my session on blood pressure, you know that there are nerve endings in the arterial walls that sense when the pressure goes up or down. Well, in order for that electrical message to get to the brain and for the brain to make adjustments, it has to flow down electrical lines. And like every electrical line, there are light switches or junctions. I call them light switches because that's how I think. And you think about this. You go to work, you come home at night, it's dark, the room is dark, you flick the switch, the light goes on, illumination. Okay? Same thing with the body from a different point of view. Minerals are your light switches. In this case, we're talking about calcium. Now, like I say, in addition to it being a contractor as well as a light switch, it builds bone. Now, the way that I look at bone to me is internal support. I mean, if you didn't have bones, you'd be a jellyfish. Okay? What can I say? But that's really the truth of the matter. And so bones are our internal support. And because calcium's the deal about building bones, calcium represents strength. You've heard me use the term symbolic. I will use it a lot because I am, aside from being a holistic naturopath doing mind, body, spirit work, I'm also what I call myself a symbologist. I look at everything from a symbolic or energetic point of view. Calcium builds bone. Isn't it interesting that it also requires D, magnesium, and betaine hydrochloride, which is manufactured, by the way, from pantothenic acid. So here's the deal. Look at them from a symbolic point of view so you can really get the full gist of why on some levels a complete multi-mineral is necessary. But let's look at it from the energetic point of view. Calcium represents strength. Magnesium, along with pantothenic acid, represent inspiration. Remember, pantothenic acid, betaine hydrochloride. And vitamin D represents insight, the sunshine vitamin. What does sunshine do? It illuminates the darkness. It illuminates the doubt. So, in order to manifest your strength, you need inspiration. You need understanding. That's where the insight comes in. The inspiration is the magnesium and the pantothenic acid. And look what happens when doubt takes over and you don't think that you have the strength to deal with a situation. Well, what does occur? Some people develop kidney stones, lack of utilization of strength, bone spurs, spinal stenosis. All of those are because the calcium is not utilized. All of those are because of some doubt that the individual is going through on some level. Seek to understand yourself. In fact, here's an exercise you can do. On a sheet of paper, put down all the things about yourself that you're doubtful about. There's a project, isn't it? Okay? The object of the exercise is to try to understand where doubt operates in your life so that when you eliminate it, you can become stronger. You'll be able to utilize your minerals much more effectively, and you'll prevent any chance of bone spurs, spinal stenosis, or kidney stones. At any rate, when you do calcium, and some health food shoppers do just calcium. And sometimes the doctors tell them, oh, just get yourself calcium. Well, nothing in nature stands alone. So always think about a complete multi-mineral because everything works together. You are not just one thing. You are a conglomeration of things that are interconnected. Same thing with minerals. So think wholeness, because wholeness will equal wellness. Stop treating yourself in terms of drugs and stuff, or single nutrients or single herbs. Stop treating yourself and start nourishing yourself. Take a look at complete supplements. If you have a concern about something, take a look at my naturopathic formulas. They're there to address people's concerns. At any rate, hope you learned a little bit, and as time goes on, I will be sharing these kinds of insights with you and thoughts with it. And if you don't agree, that's fine too. Drop me a line. Let me know what you think. I'm really open to hearing what you have to say. At any rate, we will go through all the vitamins, all the minerals as time goes on, as well as the diseases. And when it comes to the diseases, as I said before, we will look at the emotional component as well, because that's what I do. Mind, body, spirit, holistic, true naturopathy. Nourishing the body back to balance and harmony. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. And have yourself a fabulous everything. God bless and